Okay, Aquarius, how are you doing? Welcome to a collective reading for fixed air, the 11th house. However you're working with that energy, welcome. My name is Petra. Thank you for joining me here. Thank you for your support on this channel, liking and subscribing. All my new subscribers, thank you. I hope this reading finds you well. Taking some time out, Aquarius? I haven't asked the question yet, okay? Let me ask the question first before you start talking, okay? I suppose I did ask the question, actually. I said, how are you feeling? We're going to check in with Aquarius heart, the heart space of Aquarius, what's going on under the surface at the source. And then we're going to look at Aquarius, clearest pathway forward. So this reading is for you to use as you navigate your life path. Apply it where it makes sense for you. I think there's, what is it? Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius right now. And it's like squaring off with Uranus. So we got some, the fixed signs got some pressure applying. So let's see how Aquarius is doing. Let's give Aquarius a clear reflection that can provide insight for healing, for movement, for transformation. Aquarius, what is in your heart space, Aquarius? What is in the heart space of Aquarius? What is at the heart of the matter for fixed air? That gives me the weirdest feeling, these three cards together. That is the weirdest combination. It's like you're looking so hard at something that you can't pay attention to your intuition. You're not able to see because you're looking so hard in a certain direction. The High Priestess in reverse with the Page of Swords in reverse and the King of Wands, all in reverse. And you see how this King and this Page are like looking away from the High Priestess? It's like you're paying attention. You've got your sights set on a particular direction and you're studying that. You're so focused on it that you're not listening to your gut. You're not listening to something in your dreams, something in your subconscious, something under the surface that's like pushing on you. Like this is a feeling like in your stomach, like deep down, it's like pushing up against you. And you're like looking away from it. You're like, are you purposely distracting yourself? Or are you just missing it because you're so focused elsewhere? I think of the King of Wands as very like conquering energy. Like, this is my direction and I'm going to do anything it takes to get there. It's Leo. It's your opposite sign. And then the Page of Swords, you're putting all your focus, you're putting all your mental capacity, all of those powerful Aquarius thoughts They're all focused on this, something you want to conquer, a direction, a project, a creation. But it's almost like I feel like you're choosing to focus on this instead of how you actually feel. It's like it's easier to look over here. You want to be in this King of Wands. You don't want to be in this High Priestess. There's some kind of like underlying truth, underlying spidey senses that you're like, I'd rather ignore that. I'd rather not listen to my intuition. I'd rather not pay attention to my dreams or this kind of more subtle way of seeing. There's something nagging at you. You can feel it, and I feel like you're actually purposefully rerouting your attention onto something you want. You might be distracting yourself. You might be like literally trying to keep your mind off of this, distracting yourself with things that are fun or things that you want to do, pursuing projects that you want to complete, pursuing. This could be like using your career, using your work, something that you feel really powerful doing, as a way of ignoring this feeling that's nagging at you in your gut. Like, you see how their heads are turned? It's like you're going like this to how you feel in your gut. Your intuition, it's like I almost see you like leaving the TV on or something, or like working really late and tiring yourself out with your passions so that you don't dream. Maybe you're having bad dreams, or the dreams you're having, you don't want to have them. So you're like trying to keep your mind occupied. Trying to keep your mind occupied on this direction, on this. It gives you a sense of power. It's like, yeah, when you're in this mode, it feels good. You feel in control. You feel like you're choosing. And this feels destabilizing. This High Priestess is like making you feel uneasy. You don't understand it. You can't really wrap your mind around it. You can wrap your mind around this. You can understand this. This is something you can do, you're good at. But this gut feeling, or these dreams, or this nagging internal gut feeling, is like makes you very uneasy because you can't really make sense out of it. So you're choosing to focus your direction, your mind, or you're trying to focus your mind on what you can control, or what you can be, where you do feel powerful, what you can understand, what you can sort of clearly look at and be like, pick it apart, and okay, this works like that, and this leads me to that. This High Priestess energy is like very destabilizing for your mind. And so you're like, I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna pay attention to what I can understand. I don't know, Aquarius. Let's see, why does Aquarius feel like this? The Eight of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Six of Cups. It's almost like you have a sense of duty or responsibility. You have people depending on you. You have to, you can't like, you can't afford to really entertain this nagging gut feeling. You have to keep working. You have to stay focused. You're telling yourself, like, I can't afford to investigate that nightmare, that dream, this thing that's coming up that's making me feel uneasy. You've got a family or a child or children depending on you. You have a sense of like, I need to show up as my best self. Leo, there's another Leo thing here. You could be just, you know, distracting yourself with work or with providing for a family or with, you know, throwing yourself into your creations in general. Like this could definitely just be a project, like something that brings you a lot of recognition, something that you're working hard on and it's successful and you feel good doing it. And this is a very like powerful, this is a powerful role. And you might have someone depending on you or a sense of like duty or I need to show up and provide. I need, you know, I have people counting on me. I have people counting on me being able to, you know, stay focused, like not get distracted. Are people really depending on you? Let's see. 2 pages. There's that Hermit again. Oof. Oof. Aquarius. Lord have mercy. Yeah, you're really avoiding looking at something that you need to look at. This whole, I need to put my best self forward. I need to stay focused. I need to, you know, I have people counting on me. I need to show up. I can't afford to be doubting. I can't afford to be entertaining this gut feeling. Like, I have to stay strong and stay focused and stay in charge. I hate to say it, but I feel like that's just... Hold on. Excuse me, I had to make sure that wasn't the raccoons eating my garden. Outside, I have some drama with the raccoons. And they come through at night and they eat my hard work. Okay. I've yet to have a strawberry. They keep getting in. I keep putting fences up. Anyways, sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's where we were at. Okay, I think that, I hate to say it, but I think that you are going to be rerouted, whether you like it or not. I need to save face, or I need to show up. I can't afford to listen to this, this gut feeling. It's like, that is not going to be an option. The Judgment's here. This is going to make itself known. You're not going to actually be able to do this to avoid it. Sorry. I feel like I'm a bringer of bad news. The Hermit, Death, and the Hangman all in reverse. It's like you're trying to avoid looking at something. You're trying to avoid some kind of inner work, some kind of going inside and dealing with addressing this feeling. You don't want to look at it. See how the Hermit's facing her? The High Priestess? The Hermit is facing the High Priestess. He's holding his lantern up. He's going in. He's going within. He's going and looking at these nightmares. He's actually letting himself dream. He's actually exploring this territory. Oh, it's murky and it's unknown and you can't understand it. That's what the Hermit does. He goes on that journey to understand these subconscious internal places. And I feel like this is a futile, you trying to look the other way and trying to focus on the places where you feel strong and powerful. I kind of want to warn you. I feel like there's the rug is going to be pulled out from under you, or there's going to be something so shocking that you have to pay attention to it. You have to look at it. There's going to be some kind of like, this will come up of its own. You're not, see, there they are. The raccoons. This is good. This is going to make itself known. You can't bury it. The more you try to bury it underneath this, oh, but I have to go to work. Oh, I have a family to support. Oh, I have to, I have people counting on me. I have to show up and look good. And I can't, that is gonna be, the more you try to stuff this gut feeling down, the more it's going to rise up and force you to face it, force you to deal with it, force you to look at it. The Hangman and the Hermit in reverse and Death in reverse, this feels like absolutely unavoidable. The more you try not to look, the more you're going to be rerouted and put in situations where you have to face this. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords and Page of Pentacles are in reverse, right in the middle of both of these. This Page of Pentacles, it's like the more you try to walk in the opposite direction, the more you try to ignore it or not pay attention to it or pretend it's not there, the more you try to like go in the other direction and, oh, maybe if I just ignore it, it'll go away. Nope. Judgment is like, nope. This is coming up one way or another, and you're going to have to face it. I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but this coping mechanism of focusing on your duties, focusing on your projects, on your work, on your creation, on the places where you're like, oh yeah, I got this. I know, I understand this. I'm good at this. You're in for a rude wake-up call, Aquarius. Rude. Like, it feels like the more you try to ignore it or look in the other direction or distract yourself, the more rude it's going to be, this awakening. Like, it's going to be like, the more you try to stuff this feeling down and ignore it, the more problems it's going to create to force you to address it. It's like it'll make you sick, like physically, if you don't listen to things that don't feel right, right? If you just keep plugging on or, you know, distracting yourself or pretending it's not happening, pretending you don't feel that way because you don't understand it, because it's weird, because you would have to change things, or it makes you feel chaotic, or like, the more you stuff that down, the more it literally generates issues, health issues, like issues around you, relationship issues. The more it's going to sort of force the issue on you. It's like I see you almost trying to like bargain your way out of this. Like, well, what if I do this? Or like, but I'm really good at that. Or what about that? Like, if I just, you know, it just feels it feels like a direct correlation between how much you try to avoid this and stuff this feeling down and the actual like destruction or disaster or wake-up calls. The more you try to ignore it, the worse the wake-up call is going to be. I don't know how else to read these cards. Like I said, I don't like to be the bringer of bad news, but I feel like it is like this gut feeling, it's brewing under the surface. These bad dreams, this bad vibes that you get, something. It's like, don't ignore it. The more you ignore it, the worse it's getting. The more problems it's going to cause. The ruder is going to make the wake-up call even more rude the longer you ignore it. Or the more you're trying to ignore it, the worse those wake-up calls are going to be. Okay, Aquarius, what is your clearest pathway forward? What is the clearest pathway forward for Aquarius? The clearest pathway forward for Aquarius. Four of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, and Judgment in reverse. Just heed the call. Just, put down these defenses. It's like you're trying, you don't want to admit it, you don't want to look at it, you don't want it to be real, right? And you don't want to have to deal with the implications of this feeling. This just feels like, these three cards, it feels like letting it boil over. letting the whatever's brewing under the surface kind of generate enough movement that it starts to reach the top of the surface. Like, let it reveal itself, almost. You don't have to do... I think Aquarius is like... Aquarius really likes to understand things, right? That's how Aquarius connects, is by mentally understanding. And so when you deal with intuition or gut feelings or dreams, it can be like you see this Page of Swords looking away from the High Priestess. It's like, I don't understand that, so I don't even know how to look at it. And then here we have all this fire and this like rising up from underneath, and this kind of letting down of control, letting down the guard, letting things come to the surface and be seen and recognized. It feels like just like giving that feeling enough space. Stop resisting it. Just allow it to move through you so you can wrap yourself around it. Like, you don't... Six of Wands, Magician in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. How weird. This is such a weird set of cards. It makes me so uneasy. All these swords and wands. It's like, listen. It's like, stop trying to make things happen. Stop trying to understand right away. What actually, let's see, 4, 6, 9 of Wands. Magician in reverse. It's like giving up control, giving up a feeling of understanding the outcome or being even creating the outcome. And then the Ace of Wands Ace of Swords in reverse. It's like giving up your ability to understand. But be confident, be sure of yourself, this is almost saying, like, even though you can't see clearly, or you can't understand, or you can't like wrap your mind around it, or choose the direction you're going, like, take charge. Go forward. Say, like, this is why it feels so weird. It's kind of like having confidence and being sure of yourself and moving forward, even though there's a loss of control, even though there's this like letting down your grip on this sort of like position of power or position that's working, or it's like somehow having just confidence in what you can't see, in what's coming to you, like listening with so much blue and yellow, right? In these cards, it's like very opposite. It's this confidence even in the spaces that you're not confident, where you can't see, what you're not aware of, what you're not in control of. There's a lot of major cards here, and there's a lot of like magical cards here. It's like I feel like there's a lot of good shit in this gut feeling that you're avoiding and you don't want to deal with. It's like there's a lot of magic being blocked. This is actually a good thing. The places you can't see or can't understand, it actually benefits you. It puts you ahead. You just can't see it. It's so funny. It's like you're just not. Go into the spaces that you can't see with just as much confidence as you know, go after these things that you do understand and are in control of. It's like it's actually benefits you, this space. Not knowing and not being in control. This is your clearest pathway forward, and it actually like is totally in your benefit. I think you're gonna be like shocked. There's some kind of there's some kind of like building this up in your mind. Just because you can't understand it. And this is telling me like with the 6 of Wands here, with the 4 and the 9. That you'll allow things to be revealed to you. Allow the realizations to come to you. Allow that clarity to come to you. Like stop chasing. Stop chasing this sense of power. As soon as you like let go of a certain image, as soon as you let go and entertain and you let that internal feeling that you're trying to keep down, as soon as you let it boil over, as soon as it boils over, it's like you're going to be surprised. It's like you're going to be surprised that it's actually going to look great. It's actually going to work out in your favor. It's actually going to put you ahead or level you up. It will benefit you. This nightmare, this dream, this fear, this gut feeling that's like telling you something's off, or it doesn't feel right, or this seriously feels like you're literally just not looking at it, and so it has become this monster, and you're like, it literally feels like you're going to be like, what was I afraid of? What was I afraid of? Why was I resisting this? Let it come to you. The need to see everything that's coming will make you blind. The need to see everything in advance, the need to see ahead is like, the need to be in control of everything, it stops you from moving forward, right? This nagging, whatever this nagging gut feeling that you're just like, I don't understand that, so I don't want to look at it. It's nothing to be afraid of. It literally is nothing to be afraid of. You got Judgment, the way it laid out, it's like Judgment twice. Right? This is what you're experiencing. You're experiencing this rude wake-up call, like, you're trying to avoid this rude wake-up call. You're avoiding how you feel, and so it's becoming more and more pressing. And your clearest pathway forward is like just look at the thing. It's actually a good thing. It's actually working in your benefit. You just can't see it because you're not looking at it. And when we don't see things, we fear them. They can turn into monsters from nothing. You can turn, you turn a shadow into a monster just by not turning and looking at it. Or you turn a dream into a nightmare just by being afraid of it because you don't understand it. Like, what is Aquarius' power stance? What is the most powerful position for Aquarius? Mars. There's that confidence. And Aries is at the top. And Scorpio's underneath that, the two Mars signs. It's like, have confidence. Like, it's really not that bad, Aquarius. It's just something you don't understand. It's just a feeling you don't understand. And the more you're literally turning it into a bad thing by not looking at it. It's not even a bad thing at all. Like, what is Aquarius' power stance? What is the most powerful position for Aquarius moving forward? The gray heron, Cancer. Observation, patience, listening with the gut, stillness and intuition. So this is about how the gray heron fishes. They stand in the water, they stand really still, and they wait, and they watch what's happening under the surface. So this is about having patience with yourself, right? Confidence and patience, right? Confidence and believing in yourself and not being afraid so that you can turn and look at this feeling, turn and look at this intuition, go stand in that water. Water is emotions, right? It's like to be able to stand. This Mars gives you a leg to stand on in the water, in this feeling that you're like, oh, this is too chaotic. I don't understand it. I need to be on dry land, right? I need to be somewhere that I can understand. I can see the next step coming. I'm in control. I'm making it happen. I know what's going to happen next, right? This Mars gives you the power, the confidence, the belief in yourself, the belief that, everything, I can go anywhere and it'll be all right kind of thing, right? To go stand in that deep ass water, whatever that is, whatever that dream is, whatever this intuition is, this nagging feeling, that's the water that this heron is standing in. And the heron, it stands there and waits, right? It doesn't see the fish right away. It doesn't say, oh, I don't see any fish, so, I'm going to give up. No, it just waits until it just waits and it watches and it listens. Wait for that understanding to come, right? Have the confidence to go stand in the water, in that deep water, and then wait and listen, observe yourself. Use that power of your mind and your mental capacity. Use that to explore those waters, to explore your emotions, to explore these feelings and be like, oh, what is that? There's no need to be afraid of that. Just because I don't know what this feeling is. If I wait and pay attention and listen to my internal space, I will get to a place where I understand it, right? I will get to a place where I can get something from it. That's so interesting. It's another powerful bird. So let's get a rune stone to complete the power stance for Aquarius. What is the power stance for Aquarius? Ice. There's that surface of the water. Isa. This is the rune of ice. Stillness. Patience. Waiting. Give yourself a chance, Aquarius. Give yourself a chance. You're not going to understand your feelings right away. You have to spend time with it, right? You have to be at that surface of the water, this ice, right? That's like the water that's not moving. And you have to stand at the surface and you have to spend some time there. You have to be willing to sit in it. This is such an interesting, like, opposition. Mars and Cancer, right? Like, Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer. Mars doesn't like to be in this waiting, watching, not moving position. So it's like balancing this, right? It's balancing having this courage and having this, like, yeah, I have confidence in myself. I can move forward. I can make this happen. I don't need to be afraid of what I can't see. Like, this is believing in yourself enough to go stand in those waters and then wait as long as you need to spend as much time there. Right? Waiting is not just doing nothing. It's not, I feel like Aquarius is so fast. Like, Aquarius likes things to move mentally, right? It's like, if I don't understand it, like, on to the next thing, or because your mind is so keen and you do pick up on things so quickly, it's kind of like when you don't pick up on things quickly and you kind of have to spend time sitting in an emotion and like feeling it out. It's like Aquarius is like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make any sense. This is just like, have the confidence to wait it out. Have the confidence to sit in that emotion, spend time there, and wait. Wait. You will understand. You will see it. You will understand this. Absolutely. Just not yet. You have to spend time in it to understand it. That's the very, that's why Aquariuses are, have that reputation for being like unemotional, right? Or being detached from their emotions. It's like Aquarius is so high up in the sky mentally. Y'all have this amazing ability to see everything from the top down, that it's very opposite, that kind of Cancer, being in your feelings, down in the emotions, in that gut, like where you just feel things. Like, if you're around Cancers, right, they don't have to like understand intellectually how they feel. If they feel a way, that is it. That is the truth. You know what I mean? And it's very like, it's just a different mode of operation. This is asking you to come down into that Cancer, water, emotional space and just spend some time there, Aquarius. And have confidence that it's nothing to be afraid of. You don't need to fear this space. Like, you might need to spend some time there. You might need to spend some time here to really understand this feeling, and that's okay. That's just fine. Like, you don't need to rush through it. You don't need to discard it or try to, you know, divert your attention as soon as it's like, oh, I don't understand this. Like, just spend time where you don't understand. Spend time in this gut feeling that you don't understand. I feel like that's a very, like, almost kind of general statement, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that's Saturn in Aquarius, right? For all of us, like, you know, being like, oh, you gotta, Saturn in Aquarius is it's moving slowly and it's moving retrograde, right? So there's something about applying that fixed air, right, to these places that it normally doesn't touch, right? Or having these like bubbling up, nagging things that are like, you need to pay attention to this. You can't run away from this anymore. And this is actually, you just need to face it. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward message. So maybe I'll just leave it there. Is that all for tonight, Aquarius? Is there anything else that needs to be said here? Oh, I guess that's it. This is definitely making you can easily make a monster out of thin air. You can conjure a monster out of thin air just by not wanting to address what you don't understand. And this is a lot of encouragement to just spend time in that space, in those emotional spaces that you don't, in those feelings, those literal gut, body, dream, like these places that are nebulous and yeah. All right, Aquarius, that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you around.